And each week, they tuned in to listen.
This is Your Life, a program for all America. And now here he is, Mr. This Is Your Life himself, Ralph Edwards.
And that's how the program was introduced each week. The concept for the show, This Is Your Life, originated while a radio and TV personality, Ralph Edwards, was hosting another game show at the time. The U.S. Army had requested Edwards to create a program for paraplegic soldiers at a California Army Rehabilitation Center. So, in response, Edwards presented the life of a particular disheartened young soldier on the air. His goal was to connect that soldier's challenging condition with his happier past and a more hopeful future. In this show, This Is Your Life, Ralph surprised each guest with a narrated biography. The show featured the life stories of both celebrities and ordinary people who had made a positive contribution to their communities and the world. And with the help of his large red book, Ralph narrated the subject's life while introducing family members and friends and other influential figures. That show, This Is Your Life, reminds me of a movie with a similar name. It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart from 1946. This too is a reflection on the past. But in this case of the movie, it's a reflection of a past without you in it. It's about George Bailey, played by Jimmy Stewart, who didn't see his value until the stresses of life had beaten him down. But it was then his guardian angel, named Clarence, granted him an opportunity to see his value. He was granted the opportunity to see what life would have been like without him. So, what's the connection between This Is Your Life and It's a Wonderful Life? And your passion for riding a motorcycle? Oh, there's a lot. Let's talk about it. Stay tuned. Recorded in beautiful Loveland, Colorado. Welcome to Peace, Love, Moto, the podcast for motorcyclists seeking that peaceful, easy feeling as we cruise through this life together. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's begin with this. Why do you ride your motorcycle? There's lots of reasons not to. Riding can be dangerous. Let's pause there. No question about it. Anyone reminded you of that lately? And let's talk about cash. Modern motorcycles are expensive. You may have to take out a bank loan in order to afford the bike that you want. And once you're on your bike, you're going to need a good helmet, jacket, riding gloves, riding pants, good boots, etc. Expensive stuff when you get the good stuff. Not to mention fuel and maintenance, which is very expensive from time to time, and insurance on all of that. So why are we spending so much time and money on something like that in the view of so many non-riders is a waste of time, waste of money, and a risk to your health? Why? Well, I get it. Everything that I just stated is very true. But there's so much more to motorcycling that you and I know the non-riders typically just don't understand. Riding a motorcycle for me, maybe for you too, reduces stress and it helps me think more clearly. I guess from a biological or chemical perspective, riding increases serotonin levels, that's what I've read, which can help you with depression or increase feelings of happiness. Motorcycling is just fun, and depending on where and how you ride, it can be thrilling too. Another chemical reference here, it's known as the release of endorphins, which makes riders really happy. Riding a motorcycle gives us a sense of empowerment, maybe even freedom. While we're fully under control, we also feel the release of not really being under control. The weather changes, winds change, animals jump out in front of us. Stuff like that just happens. We don't have full control, but that's okay. And finally, we're out on our bikes and we meet friends we haven't even met yet. The motorcycle wave is just one example of this momentary connection with a total stranger. It's also a very cool way of looking at the next car next to you and seeing a little kid just stare back and give you a little wave. Oh, that's just wonderful. And when we add in social opportunities that motorcycling offers, that's a whole new aspect. As much as I enjoy riding alone, I honestly do, that's kind of my preference, but we humans need a connection with other humans. And there is quite a joy in connecting with others who have a similar passion that we do, other motorcycle riders. I've mentioned it many times before, but the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, held every year in May, is one of the best examples of finding joy in a motorcycling community, at least for me. The DGR, as we call it, is a global motorcycle event raising funds and awareness for prostate cancer research and men's mental health programs on behalf of the Movember Foundation. You probably heard of No Shave November, kind of the same thing. My wife and I have been ride leaders for the DGR in Fort Collins, Colorado for the past couple of years. I call it a global hug, and it's where you can walk up to a total stranger, give him or her a hug, and then introduce yourself. Yeah, programs like that start with an embrace. And oftentimes you leave an event like that with a brand new friend, or if you're lucky, a whole bunch of new friends. It may be obvious, but I just love to ride. It takes me back, to a simpler time, back to my 11-year-old self, riding my little dirt bike in the field behind our house. Today, the open road and the feeling of the wind and the sound of the engine, and doing the occasional biker wave to a complete stranger, all that brings a smile to my face. My head becomes clear, and for a little while, all is well with the world. In my interview with Brady McLean in episode 73, we talked a lot about this. Yeah, we talked about bikes and other riders, but we also talked a lot about life, the highs and the lows. We talked about the value of our lives, the importance of taking care of ourselves, both physically and mentally. Most importantly, we talked about service, the importance of reaching out to others who are struggling, doing random acts of kindness, and how by pouring ourselves out to others, somehow that pours joy back into us. I'll wrap this up with this idea. There may be a day when your family and old friends gather around and talk about you after you're gone. So what will they say? We can hope that they say that you were happy, you were kind, and you were generous, and that you lived a full life, and maybe in part because you found something that you really enjoyed, riding your motorcycle. And riding your motorcycle just made you happy. Maybe they'll say that in addition to loving your family, your home, your pets, you found one more source of joy, being out on your bike, where you told people from time to time that you found the all-elusive peace of mind, at least for a little while. While we're still here, though, my hope for you and for myself is that we'll be just like George Bailey at the end of It's a Wonderful Life, because we'll come to recognize how very blessed we are right now. We'll be reminded that, right now, this is a pretty wonderful life. As always, thank you so much for listening. Hey, if you enjoy the episodes and would like to share a review on Apple Podcasts or any platform that you use, or you'd like to send me an email, I'd love to hear from you. It's ron@peacelovemoto.com. Until we meet again, I wish you peace and I wish you love.